I think Kins separates defense, offense, base running. You know, it just so happened that those things have happened while he's struggling. If they were happening while he's not struggling, then the same question wouldn't be asked.
Brad, it seemed like Fredo Simon deserved a better fate here tonight. Your thoughts on the way he threw the ball?
You know, with the exception of the inning, he had trouble throwing strikes. He threw very well. Again, it gave us the opportunity to get a win, which is what you expect out of your starters, and that's what he did today, and we just didn't do it.
Brad, with the back-to-back bunts, was that something that Ghost was doing on his own?
Both those bunts were on their own.
In that case, Brad, would Tyler miss a sign? On Ghost's bunt when he got caught in the rundown between third and home?
There was no bunt. I didn't put a bunt on. That was on their own.
Is that a situation where you would ever want him bunting with second and third?
Ghost, it actually doesn't bother me, and teams have started to do it more in the last few years. Is if he gets the bunt down, you get a run in. If he's out, there's a runner at third. If he's not, it's first and third. So you see that actually a lot more frequently now than you did. It wasn't a well-executed bunt.
Is that a tough play for Collins? He doesn't know the bunt's coming to know how to react.
Collins did the right thing. He went for home and then realized he couldn't get there, so he got in a rundown. So we essentially end up in the same scenario, except one out more, second and third.
Right, does it ever feel like maybe like what went on in the top of the seventh is kind of symptomatic of a team that's maybe, I don't want to say struggling, but a team that's just trying to right the ship and trying to do too much? I mean, it seems like your team has been so good defensively, and then there's been uncharacteristic defensive mistakes. Is that, do you think?
Well, first of all, I think it's fair to say we're struggling, or you know, I don't think that's a stretch by any means. But when you are struggling, things like that happen where on the night you hit, the other team hits more. On the night you don't hit, the other team scrapes out one. You know, you need to get one out to get out of an inning, and you can't get that out. I mean, that's just what happens when you struggle.
This might be too early to ask, but do you think about sticking with the same lineup, Iglesias and Kinsler, or you decide that tomorrow?
Well, I'll decide it tonight, but I don't know at this point.
Brad, you the type that was a big hit by Castellanos. Do you find yourself during the game thinking, okay, this is the start of it, we're breaking out of it, or do you just look at a game as a whole? Do you not tell yourself that during the game?
Well, I was hoping it would be. You know, you hope that something happens. You know, that was a big hit by Nick, and you hope that snowballs into something, but it doesn't always, and it didn't tonight.
Safe to say the seventh inning, top of the seventh, was kind of the end of your undoing?
Yeah.
Brad, what did you see out of as good the last few outings? It seems like I think we talked about it before, where it seems like the strike seems to be elusive form at times, and other times it's kind of
You know, pitchers are like hitters. They go through their ups and downs. They go through their slumps as well. I don't know if that was the case tonight. Tonight was just a case of a guy getting a big hit in a big situation.
Are you leaning more towards using Alex Wilson later in games instead of maybe, I know he's done a little of both, but with how good has he been, it's almost like for the bigger situations, you kind of need Alex Wilson. Are you leaning more towards that?
Yeah, I would certainly not be afraid to use him. However, I think Nesbitt with his changeup and cutter, generally, if he's got to face a switch hitter or a left-handed hitter, probably is the stuff that better suited to face left-handed hitter than Alex Wilson. But I wouldn't be afraid to use Alex Wilson against in a late inning situation, but preferably against probably more right-handed pitchers or hitters. Excuse me.
Are some games more of a slap in the face than others? Before the game, you were talking. You sounded pretty upbeat about getting guys back and stuff like that. They had a 3-0 lead here, and then all of a sudden, just kind of came back to bite you. Was this more of a slap in the face than some games?
You know, Anaheim was a slap in the face. This was a punch in the gut.